Welcome to another session. So currently we are in chapter 6, which is the last chapter of this syllabus. In chapter 6 we have tools for testing. For testing, tools are very important. So whatever tools we are using, which is supporting our in our testing effort, is a tool. For example, it can be Excel, it can be ChatGPT. So we have different tools used in the organization. Some of them are for communication, some of them are test management. So for communication we are using Teams. For suppose for test automation we have different tools. So for test automation, for web UI automation, we have Selenium, Playwright, Cypress, and we have different we have different tools. For static analysis, we are using different tools. For example, in we have bug reporting tools, we have test management tools. If we're using a Zephyr test management tool, X-ray is plugin for Jira. So if you are talking about the development, we have test driven development, which is more geared towards developers. They are using test driven development approach. So if we are using BDD approach, we are using Cucumber plugin. So when you go about classification of performance testing tool, usually we use JMeter, we have security testing tool, Barb suite, and so on. So all these tools, whenever we introduce to new tool into organization, we should be very careful, because um, we should do some research. We should analyze whether it is open source or paid. So what if they are paid, we should analyze their support, whether how many trials they are given. We should try their trials. If it is fits our needs, then we should pay and continue with that tool. So we should gradually implement that tool in organization, from one department, then one department to other department. We should not roll out the tool at once, because it may create the problem. So there will be need of training, resources will be required, training. So there will be resistance to change initially. So tool selection and ongoing support, all these should be kept in mind while selecting that tool. So let's go into detail. Test tools can be used to support one or more testing activities. So we have many testing activities. For example, we use black box testing, we use performance testing, security testing, and white box testing tools. There are many testing tools. We have performance testing. So tools that are directly used in testing, such as test execution tool and test data preparation tools. So also tools that help to manage requirement, test cases, test procedure, automated test script and test results, test data, defects, and for reporting and monitoring test execution. So tools that are used for investigation and evaluation. So any tool that assists in testing, that can be spreadsheet, that can be any tool that is helping and as saving our time and effort. Test tool can have one or more of the following purpose, depending on the context. So improve the efficiency of test activities by automating repeated tasks. For example, if we're using test automation tool for regression testing, improve the quality of test activities by allowing for more consistent testing and high level of defect reproducibility. Automate activities that cannot be executed manually for large scale performance testing. So as you know, for performance testing cannot be done manually, so it is impossible to test 1,000 users. So tools saves our tools rescues us. So increase reliability of testing, for example, automating large data comparison or simulating behaviors. So tools for managements are the tools test management tools and application lifecycle management tools, ALMs, requirement management tools, so defect management tools. So we have many tools for defect management. Mostly we have used Jira, Bugzilla, configuration management tools, and continuous integration tools are geared towards the development. So tools that support reviews, static analysis tools are geared towards the development, mm, because developers use static analysis tools. So tool support for test design and implementation, test design tools, model based testing tools, test data preparation tools, acceptance test driven development, behavior test driven development tools. So test driven development tools are more geared towards the developers, so developers use that. We have test execution tool to run regression tests. So coverage tool, requirement coverage, these are used by development team. Test harness tools and unit test framework tools are used by development team. So performance testing tools, monitoring tools, dynamic analysis tools. Dynamic analysis tools are used by developers. So these are performance measurement tools. Tool support for specialized testing needs are data quality assessment, data conversion, migration, usability testing, accessibility testing, localization testing, security testing, portability testing, testing software across multiple devices. So often we use cross browser stack. So benefit and risk of test automation, simply acquiring tool does not guarantee success. So each new tool introduced into an organization, we require effort to achieve real and lasting benefit. Mm. So potential benefits of using tool to support test execution include reduction in repetitive manual work. For example, running regression tests, environment setup, tear down tasks, re-entering the same test data, and checking against coding standard. Thus, it saves time. Greater consistency and repeatability, more objective assessment, for example, static measures and coverage. So, in static measure and coverage, we can have more objective assessment instead of subjective analysis. We can do objective analysis. So, easier access to information about testing, let's say statics and graphs. So, these tools are generates graphs. So, we have easier access. We can see the trends. We can draw the conclusions based upon the graphs. So a potential risk of using tool to support testing includes expectations for tools. Expectations for the tools may be unrealistic. For example, we have associated unrealistic expectation with the tool. So the time, cost, and effort for the initial introduction of tools may be underestimated, including training and external expertise. The time and effort needed to achieve significant and continuous benefit from tool may be underestimated. So there are other potential risks of using tool to support testing include the effort required to maintain the test asset generated by tool may be underestimated. The tool may be relied on too much. Version control of the test asset may be neglected. So potential risk for using tool to support testing include the tools vendor may go out of the business, retired of tool, or sell the tool to different vendor. The vendor may provide a poor response for support, upgrades, and defect fixes. So we should keep all those things in mind. An open source project may be suspended. A new platform or technology may not be supported by the tool. So if we have selected the tool and we're using new technology, or we have planned to use new technology in future, then that tool will not be helpful for you. So there may be no clear ownership of a tool, for example, mentoring, updates, etc. Okay, now a main principle for selecting tools is assessment of the maturity of organization, is strength and weakness. So identification of opportunities for in improve test process supported by the tool. So understanding of the technology used by the test objects in order to select a tool that is compatible with the technology. So to build and continuous integration tool already in use. The build and continuous integration tool which is already used in the organization, uh, in order to ensure the tool compatibility and integration. So we should also keep in mind that which CI/CD pipeline we are using. So whether this tool is supporting or not. So main principle of selecting tools is also evaluating the tools against clear requirements and objective criteria. So there should be clear requirements. All the requirements. This tool fulfill all the requirements. Consideration of whether or not the tool is available for free trial period or how long. So if a trial is available, then definitely we should go for trial. if if trial if we are satisfied after trial, then we should pay. Evaluation of vendor, including training, support and commercial aspects, for support of non-commercial open source tool. Identification of internal requirement for coaching and mentoring the use of tool. So if there is an internal training requirement, definitely. Main principle of selecting tools is evaluation of training needs, consideration of considering the testing and test automation skills, those who will be working directly with the tool. So those who will be using a tool, the, for example, if there is a test automation tool, then we should train the resources. Consideration of pros and cons of various licensing model, for example commercial or open source. Estimation of cost benefit ratio based upon concrete business case if required. So we should go first for pilot project. Gaining in-depth knowledge about the tools, understanding both its strength and weakness, evaluating how the tool fits with the existing process and practices, and determining what could need to change. So the pilot project, deciding on standard ways of using, managing, storing and maintaining the tool. So in the pilot project, we also assess whether the benefit will be achieved at a reasonable cost or not. If the benefit are not at reasonable cost, then we should go to for alternative. Understanding the methods that you wish the tool to collect and report. So definitely tool should help to collect the messages, prepare the report. Success factor for tools. Success factor for evaluation, implementation, deployment, ongoing support for tool within organization include rolling out the tool to the rest of the organization incrementally. We should go incrementally, not at once, because it will create a problem if we roll out at once. Adopting and improving processes to fit with the use of tools. So we should adopt and improve our processes. So success factors also include providing training, coaching and mentoring for tool users, defining guidelines for the use of tool, for example internal standards for automation, implementing a way to gather usage information from the actual use of tool, monitoring tool use and benefit. So we should monitor the tool use and all these benefits. Cost benefit analysis is very important, providing support for to the user of the given tool, gathering lessons learned from all the users. We should get the feedback from all the users who are using the tools. So this is very important. So with this we have come to an end of this course. In this course we have covered 6 chapters. First one was fundamental of testing. Second chapter was testing lifecycle. Third was static testing techniques. And fourth was test techniques. Fifth was about test management. Sixth was about tool support for testing. So question distribution chapter wise is, in chapter 1 we have 7 questions, Chapter 2 there will be 6 MCQs. From chapter 3 there will be 3 MCQs, and from chapter 4 there will be 12 MCQs. So chapter 4 is very important. Chapter 4 is about test techniques, so you should learn all those techniques: white box, black box, experience based, and all those testing techniques. From chapter 5 we have 8 MCQs, chapter 6 we have 4, and total will be 40 MCQs. So I hope after this you will do practice, and after practice mock exam you will be able to pass that. Okay, thank you very much for attending the course. So your feedback is very important. Please provide your feedback so we can improve. Thank you very much.